All right, not trying to stay on too long because your boy is very, 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 very sleepy. Very sleepy, man. All right, so. Oh, am I paused right now? I guess my camera's sleepy too. Hold on. That's weird. What the heck? What just happened? Let's try something. There we go. There we go. I don't know what that was. Even Manu was better. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What I walk myself into? I see Caps in here, so I'm assuming he's saying something in lines of we're winning and Sohan is in there or something like that. New camera? No, it's the same camera. No, same camera. You like Sohan not playing? Are you really about to make the argument that the Spurs are better without Sohan? Are we going to do that with Fox too? And then also Linux? And then also Lindy Waters? Are we going to do it with everyone else? Like all of them should go? Yeah. Funny enough, the things that we've been missing is actually perfect for Sohan and Fox, right? Like the things we've been missing is perfect for those two. Hold on, let me see if I make sure my stuff working. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. You guys know we got sponsors to hit on. Hold on, let me go to the stats. So are the press conferences already up? We're going to actually split it today because we don't have a game until Thursday, so we don't have to do a whole hour segment. Have you seen Cooper Flag dunk on Manu? What are you talking about? What you talking about, man? Man, y'all tripping. Cowboys person is already thinking of trading Fox. Oh, God. After this game, I think it's very apparent that you don't trade Fox. Oh, my God. Yeah, oh, my God. I think it's very apparent you don't trade Fox. What you talking about, Willis? I'm tired of people hating on Steph. It's his second year, and he's our Manu. Okay. Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute. Before we get in anything, okay? So there's a whole lot to talk about when it comes to this game, right? A whole lot of good, a little bad, but I think the Spurs are going to be much better when a few guys come back. But before getting into any of that, big shout out to today's sponsor, as always, Sleeper. If you guys are interested at all in daily fantasy sports, please check out Sleeper. Use the promo code CLAN and you'll get a 100% match up to $100. Super simple. Just use the link in the description, download the app, and it's really good stuff. If you don't care about daily fantasy at all, there is a social media section on it that's really good that shows a bunch of highlights, what's going on around the league, stats, injury reports, any news, all that good stuff. So if you want to just keep up with the NBA as a whole and you're not interested in the daily fantasy sports segment at all, you can still head on over to Sleeper. Just use the promo code below. And if you support the sponsors, you support the channel. So go download that app. It'll mean a lot to me. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this game. So there's quite a bit of positives, but also a little bit of negatives. Okay, a little bit of negatives, but I think it's going to be fixed pretty soon. Now, first and foremost, the San Antonio Spurs convincingly won another game. all of these games thus far are games the Spurs should win, right? Should win on paper, but we know that the games last season, it was some that we thought we could have won, and yeah, it just didn't happen, right? But so far, the San Antonio Spurs are undefeated throughout the preseason and the beginning of this season. We are tied with the Thunder, which the Thunder were really close to losing their game today. So we were tied with the Thunder. We're tied with the Thunder now, top of the West. Super early, right? Things are going to shift. The Spurs are going to go on maybe a few losing streaks here and there, and probably not long losing streaks, but yeah. But thus far, the Spurs have won the games they definitely should have won. And I would even argue convincingly so. I think the next game against the Heat is going to be a larger test, especially since you saw how we looked against them during the preseason. End up winning the game, obviously, but they're a little tougher. They're going to be a little tougher. Okay, so that'll be a nice matchup for us, for us to really see how much grit do we really have. So I guess I should just go ahead and start with the negatives, right? Because there's a lot of positives. I'll just start with some of the negatives. So first and foremost, I think we should just be honest here. I mean, very honest. I know I saw a few people in the chat kind of talking about it already, but like, Steph Castle is not a point guard. He's just not a point. Like, when you have to put the ball in his hands and allow him to just run an offense all game, it's rough, y'all. It's rough. Now, he's super young, right? This isn't one of those matters where like we need to get onto him or we need to worry or nothing like that. I think it just comes down to he's not a primary point guard, and he wasn't in college either. So it shouldn't really come to a shocker to anyone. The only time I have an issue, which it really seemed like Mitch Johnson knows this, right? The only issue that I have is when Steph Castle and Dylan Harper is on the court together and Dylan Harper isn't the primary like ball handler. Like, that's the one thing that bothers me. But it seems like Mitch Johnson down the stretch, he saw Steph Castle struggling. He was like, all right, I'm gonna put in Dylan Harper. At first I thought he was subbing out Castle, which I didn't think would have been a great idea just from Castle's defense, but he didn't do that. He made sure that they played together, and then things slowed down a little bit. We did go on a run prior to that, but Steph Castle made two huge mistakes. We got it together for a couple plays, and then there was a timeout from the Raptors, and then he said, all right, Dylan Harper, go ahead and go in there. Him and Champagnie. But yeah, that was a really good look for Dylan Harper. It showed that our coach really does believe in him. But he is a true point guard. And what do I mean by that is Steph Castle's decision making, sometimes he's a little hesitant, right? He just doesn't have that. Yeah, he just isn't a point guard. That's fine. Right, exactly, Tane. He's just not a point guard. He's more of a combo guard. But it seemed like a lot of his decision-making was a little slow, especially when you compare it to Dylan Harper, right? Like, last season, didn't really have much to compare him to. De'Aaron Fox came for a very short period of time. Chris Paul is far out of his prime. So just putting Steph Castle on a microscope, it was like, oh, man, he is killing it right now, right? Rookie of the year, everything is great. But he's at the end of the day, he's not a point guard. He's a high basketball IQ player, but I think some of his decision making is it takes a screw or two. Like, it takes a while before he makes the decision. Whereas Dylan Harper is like on the dot, right there, really quick, and it's just a beautiful sight to see. And what kind of shows that as well, it shows up. It actually did show up in the stat sheet, because if you look at Steph Castle, he had 5 turnovers on 4 assists, which obviously assist to turnover ratio is very important if you're a point guard, and it's been pretty ugly thus far. I think the first game was 5 turnovers, second game was like 9 or 10. Am I tripping? Third was 5, and then this one's 5. He's been getting a lot of turnovers. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, it was 10. It was 10. I thought it might have been 9. It was 10 turnovers. But he made some really clutch plays here and there. But yeah, that's just not gonna fly, right? On a brighter note, this game he's 33%. The game prior he was almost 38%. So not too bad. For the season so far, 30%. Not great, but he had a couple good stretches last couple games. But anyways, so I'm not saying all that to say Steph Castle's a bad player or nothing. I think he's a really good player. I know that his ceiling, and we talked about this before, could be a star, but him getting there, I have no idea. Nor does it really matter, right? We have Dylan Harper. Like, Dylan Harper's really good. So that's one thing that it doesn't worry me, because actually the addition of Fox if Fox coming back is gonna like fix that problem like instantly. But I think it's something to take note of. And if Steph Castle's out there with Dylan Harper, I don't think Castle should be the primary ball handler. Maybe on occasion, but that just, I don't know. It just really depends, right? So with that being said, another negative is it seemed as if the Spurs let it get away from them a little bit in the second half. It felt like we took our foot off the gas just a little bit, but not necessarily. I think the Toronto Raptors got really close, and then the Spurs went on a little run here in the fourth. So things look really pretty. But yeah, that worries me a little bit, because when you go into games and you're as aggressive, because they were very aggressive at the beginning of this game, and you give yourself a little bit of a lead and you go all out, in the second half, you got to keep that intensity up. And sometimes it seems like it can slip from them a little bit. You start making a few mistakes, and then, some of that happens. But I really do think a big part of that is not having a point guard. Like, if Steph Castle is the main ball handler, that's an issue, and that's usually when things start to look kind of ugly, especially when the games shift. Because as you guys know, in the fourth quarter, the game shifts a little bit, right? It becomes tighter, it becomes tougher. Each bucket, matters more and more. And yeah, Castle just isn't a point guard, and that's okay. Castle will more than likely be another Marcus Smart, but bigger. When you're talking about that type of role, yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that, right? And that's fine. That's fine. It's not the biggest deal in the world. But we desperately need Fox to keep the intensity, keep the pace, and most importantly, keep things under control. I think that it's pretty apparent. I mean, I'll be very shocked if when Fox comes back that Castle isn't out of the starting lineup. As you guys know, Devin Vassell has been really great. And the reason why, and we talked about it before, but the reason why Devin Vassell looks really good is because when you put him in a position where he can be the third or fourth option, he's very valuable. He amplifies the team, right? When he doesn't have to be the second guy next to Wemby all the time, he looks much better. He's just not a second option. But when you have somebody like Dylan Harper, who we give him the ball and say, go make something happen, it looks beautiful, right? It looks beautiful. With Devin Vassell, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that if he's the third or fourth option. And a lot of Devin Vassell's shots as well hasn't even been a ton of him creating for himself, which he's very capable of doing it. But it's been a lot of good looks from Wembanyama getting double and from people finding him on the court. Like he's just better than that. I think he's better like that. I think of back during the play-in with DeJounte Murray, where DeJounte sucked in that game, but he kept finding Devin Vassell, right? And Devin was just on fire. Like, that's the type of person he should be. Clan quiet about my boy Barnes. Barnes found his stroke this game. Like, he definitely found his stroke this game, so that's really good. I mean, I stay true to what I said, though, is if his shot isn't going, there's nothing there, right? But this game, his stroke was going. That's good. I don't think I'll come off of my take that maybe he should be out of the starting lineup. Like, I think I'm still content with that take. But with that being said, it is what it is. Another negative, which isn't even really a negative because, like I said, this will be fixed too. But yeah, man, that backup center position, man, it felt like I was getting flashbacks to last season, dude. Like, Wembanyama sits, and then all of a sudden, there's a run, right? Or we can't stop them in the paint necessarily. I don't know. Hate to see it. Really hate to see it. But Cornette should be back. I don't know if it's Thursday or pretty soon. I have heard from the grapevine, just throwing that out there, is that Sohan and Fox could be back this weekend. So I think Sunday. That's what I'm hearing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I heard that from the grapevine. We'll see. But overall, we really need those backup bigs. And Olynyk could be back next game. Yeah, and Olynyk could be back next game. So we're going to be really good when we have actual like backup big men. We need more big man depth, which we have. It's just they haven't been able to be on the court yet. So Sochan coming back, Kornet coming back, Olynyk coming back, or Olynyk playing for the first time actually, is going to help us tremendously, I think. Like absolutely tremendously. So right now, what I'm thinking, guys, or how I'm feeling, and more than likely what it'll do, see, the fan part of me, or the part of me that just loves Dylan Harper, says he starts, or he should start. But what's more than likely going to happen is it's going to be Fox, Devin Vassell, Champagnie, Sochan, and Wemby. I don't know if Sochan will start right off the bat because of the injury, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm assuming, though, that's what it'll end up coming down to. Because I'll be honest, at the beginning of this game, I really liked how they set the pace, and I really liked how aggressive they were. And yeah, I don't know. I just really liked that. I liked the defense. They were tough pretty early on. It's just a matter of, can you keep that intensity up for all 4 quarters? And I would hate for us to start to get tired. But with as much depth that we have, I think it'll be totally fine. Like, people won't get too exhausted. So that's all the negatives, because there really aren't that many negatives. The positives, though. The positives. First and foremost, that fan section that Wembanyama got together has been working significantly well. I want our guy to go viral here, man. I tried to post it on all social medias because I was like, I need you to go viral, bro. I need you to go viral. I need people to see this guy. Look at him. This got to be a super chat. I got to save this and make this a super chat. Oh my God. Look at this. They were awesome, by the way. They were really bringing the energy. Every single time that they cut to that fan section, it was so much fun. You love it so much. This is great. This is great. A friend of mine said that it really reminds him of college ball, and I have to agree. You love to see it. So, but yeah, so that's really working. But another positive is Wembanyama was perfect in this game. Like, I have no complaints from Wemby. I mean, I didn't really have that much last game, but we end up finding out with the French translation that Wemby was actually quite tired during that last game, which is insane because he had 31 points, like 15 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 3 steals, and he was tired. He didn't get good sleep. But this is what Wemby looks like when he gets good sleep, right? Basically perfect from the field, 10 for 10 from the free throw line, 15 rebounds, a block, a steal, 4 assists. And this probably scares you. You're like, wait, if you didn't watch the game, you're probably, wait, he only had 1 block? No, he would have had 15, but the Toronto Raptors literally had to settle. Like, they were so afraid of getting to the rim or going to the rim that they were just shooting outside shots consecutively. The only time they were really able to get to the rim was when Wemby was sitting. So yeah, our guys are just feeding them to Wemby. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's very funny. But yeah, they literally and they would turn the ball over as well, like trying to avoid Wemby. Like, even if it wasn't a steal from Wemby himself, they would turn the ball over because Wemby was there. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So you love to see it. You love to see it. So Wemby was phenomenal. Basically perfect. No complaints here. 4 turnovers. I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't remember them. And one thing I really like too is it was timely, right? Like, he was 7 for 8, but 2 of his shots were huge in the 4th quarter. So Wemby is really good. It just he does not care about the stats, right? That will be the one thing that holds him back from being an MVP is the stats. He does not care about the stats. He gets the vibe of what's going on in the game, where he can impact, and then when the team needs him, he'll score. But if everyone else is scoring, he's content as well. So he doesn't really care. And it kind of showed in this game that this superstar, I mean, Castle did Castle call him this? Yeah, Castle called him the best player in the NBA. according to Castle, the best player in the NBA, only took 8 shots today. Like, he did not care. He's like, hey, if we're winning, we're winning. And when it was time for him to be aggressive, he got aggressive. So you just love to see it. Jakob did not know what to do with him, by the way. That was very funny. It was just a beautiful sight to see. I already talked about Devin Vassell. He was good. Steph Castle, he's good. He just isn't a point guard, right? Like, that's the main thing. He's just not a point guard. Harrison Barnes found his stroke. Julian Champagny was fine. Let's see. Oh, I'll say this. Keldon is good. Keldon's been good. I know, like, you see the negative too or whatever, but no, Keldon's been good. He's been really good. I think he's been playing his role very well. He's looking as if he fits. It's really nice because the Spurs aren't really in a situation where they, like, are forced to play him in certain scenarios regardless. Like, because they would have to finish before, they would just have to finish games with Keldon no matter what. I don't think that he's good. I just don't think Keldon's a great finisher, just to be honest with you. But in spurts, when you just need a little bit of energy, or just tell him, hey, constantly bring the pressure, or he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to create for himself or other people, he's really good. He's really good. So Keldon has been, in my opinion, even if the analytics wasn't to show it, I think he's been a net positive. I'm just going to go away from analytics on this one. I think he's been a net positive for the team, and he's actually been helping and impacting women, right? Women? Winning. He's probably impacting women too, but winning. So he's been really great. So yeah, I really like Keldon so far. I think he's been really good. It's been a few occasions, right, there I got onto him, but it would be really nitpicky at this point to get on to Keldon. Like, he's been fine. Even if the Spurs would have lost this game, it wouldn't have made a difference on how I felt about Keldon so far. Keldon's aggressiveness is awesome. He's like a bull. He's always been like that. But it's always needed to be managed, and it always needed to be one of those things where, you know, he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands all the time. But also, defensively, I thought he's been okay. I don't think he's been, like, a great defender. I don't think he'll ever be a great defender, but I think he's been pretty okay, like, defensively. He hasn't been that bad. Literally, over the course of the last 3 games, I can count, like, twice where I was like, that was really bad. But other than that, like, he's okay. KJ still get lost on defense sometimes, but acceptable. He's been better player. Well, that's the thing. Like, especially when he's surrounded around so many other defenders, and you don't have to play him. I mean, I know he played 24 minutes, but you don't have to, right? Because you have enough depth not to. And especially when guys start to come back, you could really pick and choose when you want Keldon to be in there. And it makes him more of a weapon when you can just kind of use him when you need him, right? I feel like last few seasons, Keldon's had to play because we didn't have the depth to make it happen. And he's undoubtedly the better player in that position that he's been in. So, but yeah, overall, Keldon was really good. I think Keldon was really good. Carter Bryant was good as well. It was nice to see him have a 3 go down. Actually, has he hit a 3? Has he hit a 3 this? I feel like he's only hit like 1 3. Here, maybe the preseason? Preseason. Oh, he hit a few 3s in preseason. What am I talking about? He's just been pretty inconsistent. But it was nice for him to get his first 3 of the regular season. He got a few extra minutes in there. I mean, yeah, I won't say because that was only like, 2 minutes left or something like that. So I won't say it was garbage time necessarily. He played more than he has. He would have still been around 9, 10 minutes. So he did good. He did really good. Don't know what that'll look like when our other guys come back, but so far, I like what I see from Carter. Any other positives, man? Anything that you guys noticed? Here, I'll look at the super chats. Thomas says, by the end of the season, whole arena going to be chanting with jackals, ole, ole, ole. I have no idea. Jackals. The animal? What does that mean? Damn, Jackals movie. I don't know what that means. Does anyone know what that means? You can hear the jackals from everywhere. Oh. The jackals are extremely underwhelming. What are we talking about? Oh, it's called the fan section? You gotta be kidding me, Clan. Shut up, Chandler. New fan section? I didn't know that's what it was called. Oh, I didn't know it was called that. How do you not know the chat? I'm sorry. I didn't know what it was called. I just called it the fan section. Fan group? Oh, okay. Jackals are Spurs cheerleaders? Baseline bums, now jackals? I feel like this is lore I don't know about. Cancel clan? Don't cancel me. Hey, you're a Spurs user. I didn't know. I'm not, dude. I'm not gonna pretend like I know something when I don't. Okay, now I know. All right. I didn't know it was called that. Clan is a Rockets fan. Yeah, I'm a Rockets fan. I would react to Wemby's Castle super chat, but it's just a mustache. He sent me $1.50 and he gave me an emoji mustache. Thank you. Oh my god, you guys are really upset. What the F, Clan? Oh my god. Oh my god, Clan, I hope you die. Oh my god. Jeez. Jump off a bridge. Oh my, are you guys okay? I'm just kidding, I'm making that up. Nobody said that. You're supposed to be on top of this, Clan. I'm on top of most things. Dylan Harper gonna be Rookie of the Year. How's VJ Edgecombe looking? Because that's gonna be. I think. Let me see. I think Cooper Flagg had like 24 points. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Look at this. He's averaging like 25 right now. Why is it only 2 games? Are they on right now or something? No, they're not on right now. Why is it only 2 games? Flag scored 2 points? Oh, then who am I thinking of? Who scored 24? Hold on. I don't know what just happened. He got off. Oh, here you go. Cedric Coward? Oh, really? Oh, I was thinking of last game. He had 22 last game. That's right. He had 22 last game. Yeah, they almost lost. I saw the fourth quarter of the OKC one. OKC almost lost. Okay, I was thinking of last game. He had 22 last game. Oh, okay, so he's averaging what? 16.7. The only thing that's gonna hurt Dylan is the fact that we have a better team. He has 16. VJ looks like he might be running away with it. Take a look here. 3 games. There it is. 26, 15, 34. Yeah, look at the sheer amount of minutes that he's getting per game. Like he'll get it. He'll get it. He's also been stellar, so he'll get it. Yeah, we probably need to give up on that because he's gonna get way more opportunity if healthy. Like he's gonna get way more opportunity. Like 39 minutes, 40 minutes, 42 minutes. We're not gonna be seeing Dylan Harper get anywhere near that, I don't think. '76ers haven't played a good team yet, though, off a 3-game sample size. Well, I'm just assuming that he continued to get these types of minutes. not necessarily who they play. To be fair, our matchups haven't been like crazy either. Like the Raptors 1-3. Let's see, actually. I didn't even see our team stats. Hold on. I felt like they had to settle for a lot of outside shots. But how many points in paint they get? They got 44 to our 40. Interesting. Yeah, I bet y'all money a lot of those came when Wemby wasn't on the court. Our 3-point percentage was 48% today. Holy. They did take more threes than us, too. They took 5 more threes than us. Our field goal percentage was significantly better. We were 58%, 48% from 3. Yeah, we were on fire. That's the beautiful thing about this team, because even if we weren't on fire, defense alone, we might win by 10. Spurs look really good. When is Cornette back? Cornette should be back. Last game they said it was going to be a week. So when was that? That was literally yesterday. So Sunday. Maybe he'll be back this next Sunday. If not, a day after that. All right. Last question. Clan question. I saw that. So let's see what you said. Abe says, do you think the Spurs will go 10-0? Well, let's look. Let's take a look. Let's take a looky here. So we're at 4. So we need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Miami's going to be a really tough one. I think we can take care of Phoenix. I feel like we can take care of the Lakers. Especially, well, I don't know what's happening. Do you guys know when Luka will be back? But by this time, the Spurs we should have all our guys back, right? So I'm not like too worried. So we should have our guys back by then. I'm saying we beat Houston out of principle alone. New Orleans again. I hated playing New Orleans, bro. I hated playing New Orleans. But having Sohan, he would have really helped. On Zion. And then Chicago. It's possible. It's going to be tough. We got at least 2 or 3 really tough ones in there. Really tough ones in there. That's definitely possible. As far as being on ESPN and Prime Video, they're gonna show out. They're gonna show out. So sure. Why not? Look at this. Highest points for all these games has been Wemby. Highest rebounds has been Wemby, and one of which was Cornette. And highest assists, 2 have been Castle, 2 have been Harper. So this was Harper kind of coming into his own. Oh, Zion got injured? Zion looked good. I hate his play style. I feel like it is not conducive to winning. Like, I don't know. He doesn't... It's like, I remember he got all those LeBron comparisons, but he doesn't have the passing vision of LeBron. He doesn't have the ball handling of LeBron, and he doesn't have the defense that LeBron had. Like, he's not anywhere near LeBron. But he's a bulldozer. And that's kind of it. Like, I'm just not that too one-dimensional. Yeah, he's just... It's not him necessarily. I'm not saying he's a selfish player. I guess it's similar to what I've said about Keldon before, right? Like, I don't think it's him being a selfish player, but it's just his play style, and it's pretty selfish. Like, he's so athletic and so good at doing what he does that people put him in the star category, and like, he's their best player, and you roll with it, right? But like, at the end of the day, the way that he plays is not a good way of winning. And if you were to make the playoffs, you're not going to get away with constantly doing what they do. I didn't know he was injured, though. Has a left foot bone contusion. How long does that normally last? Miami is very winnable. Of course it's winnable. It's just, I just saw how we played against them in preseason, which was pretty tough. It was pretty tough. A bone contusion in the NBA can have a recovery time anywhere from a few weeks to several months, depending on the severity and location. Minor contusions might heal in 4 to 6 weeks. So, best case scenario, I think you're right. We won't be seeing Zion. Yeah, we won't be seeing Zion. Like 4 weeks, like. Yeah. Is out indefinitely with a left foot bone contusion. There is no public timeline for his return. Got it. Yeah, then that should be easier. That should be a pretty easy one. Because he was literally the only person we were having issues with. That's okay. And then what about Luka and what about LeBron? You guys got any updates on that? I haven't seen anything. Oh, okay. So Luka is out for 1 week, so we'll see Luka. And then what was up with LeBron? All right, we got positive LeBron injury update. Doncic will miss a week. James, on the other hand, has not played this season and missed the entire preseason. He'll be rusty for the Lakers. This means getting him in practice as soon as possible. I'm told that we're still in the range of about 3 more weeks before he will be targeting a return sometime in mid-November. So, yeah, so we won't see LeBron. We'll probably see Luka, won't see LeBron. So, actually, yeah, dude. I think 10 wins, or being 10-0 is definitely doable. The tough ones are going to be Houston. I think Miami would be tough. I think Houston for the matchup. Houston to be tough. But yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. And a lower left leg contusion. Expect to miss at least a week. And Luka might be a little banged up too. Spurs are going to start off pretty strong. I would say things get a little tougher, but honestly, guys, looking around the league, there's nobody I wouldn't be fearful of anybody, but there's nobody that I look at and I'm just like, oh man, we're not going to take that, you know? Like, I don't feel like that way with any of these. I'm really excited for this Thunder one, this back-to-back Thunder one on Christmas. That'd be really cool. That'd be a really tough one, but prior to that, there's not too many games where I'm like fearful of anything. Like the Spurs have I keep saying this, we have so much depth, but our defense alone makes it really difficult on teams. And we can hit you with so many different angles. Like, this genuinely is a special team. This roster is really sick. This is a sick roster that the Spurs have right now. Brian Wright is incredible with what he did. And I'm glad that I and quite a few of you other guys have been giving him the flowers before, or right when the rebuild was starting. Because I was like, okay, I knew he was good before, but right when he made that trade, DeJounte Murray, and got all those picks for a player that was not deserving of that, just to be honest. And when we made that deal, I was like, dude, we got way more than we were supposed to. I knew that he was the real deal. But some people actually was delusional enough to think that DeJounte was worth that. Anyways, really good stuff. Oh, also, last thing with this segment, we stayed on this longer than we normally do, but really great news. Really, really great news. The Atlanta Hawks are losing, and losing big time, guys. Atlanta Hawks just lost to the Bulls, so that's a really beautiful sight to see. If you don't know, we get their pick for 2026. We can switch with them, which we will be switching with the Atlanta Hawks. Let's be honest. So yeah, Spurs is set. So as soon as 2026 draft hit, we're good to go. It's kind of crazy to think about that the Spurs, legitimately, as good as we are, could end up getting a top pick again, a top lottery pick again. It's kind of crazy. So keep that in mind. Maybe we'll do a segment for it in the near future when they continue to lose. But that's what it's looking like right now. And most importantly, they're losing with Trae Young. Gave Dyson Daniels a nice little contract. They're losing with him and Trae Young. Actually, wait a minute. Did Trae Young play the last? Okay, he did play the last game. I didn't actually catch their last game. I've been trying to keep an eye on the Hawks, though. So, yeah. The only team they beat was Orlando. They're a good team. They just need to figure it out, acclimate. Well, hopefully they lose enough and they start to figure it out like mid-season. And then by that point, everyone else in the East has figured it out. We need them to continue to lose. I saw a post earlier and they were like, if you're scared of the Spurs, then you're an Atlanta Hawks fan for the season. I love Buzelis too, guys. I really wanted Buzelis. Could you imagine him at that 3 spot? I really wanted Buzelis. But it's okay. It worked out. It worked out because, I mean, we got Fox. You know? Who knows? Maybe we don't get Fox if it weren't for being able to have that pick. It's an unprotected pick. I agree with you when it comes to Jeremy Sohan. Some Spurs fans don't seem to see his value, but thank you for sharing your take on the Spurs. Good night. Good night, man. Yeah, people just don't understand Sohan. Like, the funny thing about it is I've seen so many people say, like, it kills the spacing. First off, last season, what spacing? What spacing are we killing? and number two, all the praise that Keldon has been getting is the exact position that Sohan will be in. Like, the way that Keldon has been playing, that's going to be somewhat Sohan's role, but no one's complaining about Keldon, right? And it's basically the same role. So don't quite understand that. But Sohan's really good. And also, if you look at the analytics and you say, like, okay, are we better when Sohan's off the floor? No, it's basically a net neutral, especially last season. Whether he's on or off, it was pretty a net neutral as far as net rating and everything. But for a lot of players, it was that, you know? Like, the Spurs were just not a great team last season. But like similar to what Devin Vassell is doing right now, where I feel like he amplifies the depth. I feel like that's what Sohan does. He's like icing on the cake. Like he amplifies everything. We're already a really good defensive team. He makes that even better. Makes it even scarier. So exactly. Keldon is getting praise for okayish defense and rebounds, and they do not want Jeremy. It's very confusing. I think people just see three-pointer go in or not, and then that's it. That's their take on Sohan. Can he shoot a 3? That's all they see. And honestly, I mean, that is important, right? But I mean, I think it's been a step-by-step process in his development as far as shooting. I mean, it's not even like something that needs to be like highly dissected. You see it. You see him at the free throw line shooting one-handed free throw. You think he's doing it just because he wants to look cute? No, he's doing it because they're practicing certain things with his jump shot and adding on to it. And I think last season, where he played the role of he had to be the backup center, right? He had to be more of that enforcer, getting to the paint, that he wasn't really in a position to shoot many threes. And even yet and still, he had the same percentage as he did the year prior. So I think Sohan will be perfect if he can get to 33%. Just 3% more than his 30 right now. He get to 33, 34 consistently. You just hit 1, 2 a game. More than likely just 1 a game. That'll be fine. 1 for 3 mostly. You're fine. He'll be totally fine. You won't be using him in that regard anyways. Be near the paint. And, come out to the 3-point line every now and then. Just what Keldon's doing. Like, Keldon's not out here, like, shooting 53s, you know? He'll show his worth when he gets back. He's our second best defender. Yeah, we're missing our second best defender. We're missing a backup power forward. We're missing a backup center. We're missing a star point guard. Like, Spurs are going to be so nasty. They're winning right now convincingly. Just imagine. Elite roller too. Yeah, he is. Pick and roll with Wemby and Sohan. Yeah, it's good. Anyways. Cornette is our second best defender, not Jeremy. That's silly. Don't be silly. Don't be a silly goose, okay? I won't go through this again. We looked through so many analytics showing like top defenders in the NBA, and Jeremy Sohan is continuously on there, consistently on there. Like he's better. He's a better defender. Cornette is really good though. Cornette is a better rim protector as a center, but like overall, Sohan's more versatile and he's just a better defender. Yeah. They had Sohan guarding. I mean, we don't have another player that can guard guard a LeBron and then go out there and guard a Dame Lillard. You know, like we don't have anybody that can do that. You said Wemby, then Sohan, then Cornette, and Castle. Yeah, that's fine. And then maybe like Vassell after that, and then Harper. Close to Vassell, maybe. Oh wait, no, we're forgetting Carter Bryant. Maybe Carter Bryant after Castle, and then Harper and Vassell are like in the same stratosphere. So he can guard Cooper for sure. He can guard a lot of people. Luka, he can guard all these guys. Anyways. All right, so I'm assuming that the press conferences are up. Don't want to miss those, guys. I think what we'll do is... Let's see how many are up. Because we don't play till Thursday, right? 1, 2. I have a video I haven't uploaded yet, which it was the Carter Bryant one. So we'll probably upload that one. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, let's take a look. Gosh, I don't know where to start. Bro said, who is Kelly Olynyk? Dang. All right. So our boy Mitch Johnson was absolutely getting onto this team during this past game. He was pretty furious, right? When they were making mistakes, he was getting into their stuff. And he did a phenomenal job of making really good lineup changes mid-game, adjusting mid-game. One of which that comes to mind is in the fourth quarter when Steph Castle began to struggle. He immediately put in Julian Champagnie and Dylan Harper just to put a little pressure off of Castle a little bit. But one thing he didn't do was sit Castle. He made sure he played through it. But overall, I think it's becoming apparently obvious Castle isn't a point guard. But we do have a good... I think we genuinely have a good coach in Mitch Johnson. I won't go as far as to say he's great or he's elite or nothing like that, right? Like, there's certain people that make decisions, and I can say it right off the bat. Like Brian Wright, we've said that he's good, or I've said he's good for a very long time now. Before the rebuild, I thought he was a really good GM. Mitch Johnson, really early on, but he looks good. He looks like he's doing a very fine job. And I like the lineups out there. I think he's been pretty creative. So let's take a look at what he has to say. Ooh. Oh, ooh.
You guys kind of put that.
All right. I didn't hear a word at that beginning.
Seemed like you guys kind of put that one away by locking down defensively at the end. Would you kind of speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I think. Excuse me. I think our half-court defense.
He needs cough drops, man. He needs so many cough drops. I'm not gonna put the Batman on him this time. I'm gonna be respectful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's sick. He's sick. He's real sick.
This was actually probably pretty dang good all night. It felt like the turnovers, when we didn't give ourselves a chance to get set is probably when it felt like they went on some runs. They made a couple shots. Murray Boyles hit some threes above the quadrant that he's a good player, but was probably, we take away something from Ingram and Barrett and Barnes at some point, someone's going to get a shot, and so he gets credit for that. But to hold that team to 103 and keep them out of transition off the boards is a pretty strong performance by those guys as a group.
One thing I really like is how this has nothing to do with what he just said. But I really liked how they came out and played. Like, they came in really aggressive. They wanted to be the aggressors. They wanted to be the bullies, because the game prior was not the case. Like, the Nets came in, like, beating us up. And I was kind of shocked that at one point they only had a 6-point lead because they were up on our stuff. But the Spurs wanted to be the aggressors at the beginning of this one. And it shows a good coach that they resonated with it, and they came out and played as hard as they played. So it was really nice to see. And by the way, let's see, Adrian says, you start Sohan because he's our starter, in my opinion. You do not have to add in your opinion on that one. Like, that's just facts. Yeah, that's just facts. He's a starter. Like, but yeah, I don't know if they start him right off the bat because of the injury, but we'll see. But he's a starter, undoubtedly.
It's the first time in 89 games that Wemby didn't have a block, but yet it seems like he was having one of his best defensive games. Is it getting to a point where you think teams just aren't challenging him anymore?
Some teams do and some teams don't. Some teams do and some teams don't. If you're I don't know. I don't even know what the answer is to that. I don't know what you do. I don't know how you're supposed to go about this, right? Like, all you can hope for is, at least you on the defensive end, is to double team them and force somebody else to beat you, for them to make the right reads, make the right cuts, or for Wemby to make the right reads, players make the right cuts, and they just beat you that way. But on the other end, I have no idea what the answer is to that. Like, seriously, I have no idea what the answer is to trying to score in the paint. I don't know. I saw one play in which Jakob Poeltl kind of blocked out Wemby so one of his teammates get it to the rim, and that was nice. I was like, maybe you can do something like that. But I don't know. I don't know how you handle Wemby, but we'll see. He's gotten so much better, but we'll see. We're gonna come across teams that do a good job, and we'll know like what worked and what didn't. Because right now I have no idea what the answer is to that. Just pray, I guess.
I mean, I would think that would be part of the game plan at some point. It's tough because he has such a good feel. But yeah, and I think, sometimes it's just the games take on different personalities. And I don't think when he gets 12 blocks, like the team was trying to say, hey, let's go challenge this guy around the rim. But yeah, it is funny how that happens. You think it feels like he can block every shot, and that he had one, and he impacted the game all night long that he was on the floor defensively.
A good test for the team to go against a team that'll play 5 out and try to pull Vic away.
What? Wait, what? Clan the Sohan fan added again. Mick, what's funny is, like, I saw a comment the other day and somebody said, well, Clan only likes certain players because if they end up being good, then that means that he was right or whatever. And it's like, could it really just be the fact that I think these players are going to be good? I mean, do I do this with everybody? No. Like, I didn't get on here and tell you guys Malachi Branham is going to be top tier or anything like that. I didn't do it with Blake Wesley. I had to kind of wait and see a little bit. Like, I don't do it with just any player. I do it with the ones that I genuinely think are going to be really great. And thus far, the last 3 has been Derek White, which, I mean, come on. And I know a lot of people didn't like him at first. But it's been Derek White, Josh Primo, which he just screwed up his career. There's nothing I can say about that. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, you could say I'm wrong on that. That's fine. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I had no idea that would happen. And Sohan, right? But I don't think Sohan's a star. I don't think he's a superstar. I just think that he is our version of Draymond. And this type of player, you need him in playoffs, and you need them in the finals. Like, they come in handy. So, like, that's all it is. And a lot of people will say, like, he's bad, but you can't look at the box score with someone like that. So that's why I go against it so often. But, like, the idea that I like Sohan just because, that's not true. or just because I think, oh, if he ended up being great, I don't think he'll be like great. I think he's a really great role player, but I don't think he'll be a great. You know what I mean? Even when I said if he made an all-star appearance, I said that in the realm of Wemby, because when you have a superstar like Wemby, a lot of times guys from your roster, if you're successful enough and you make it to the finals or whatnot, like those guys start to get a little bit more recognition, and people want to see them, and they end up making an all-star appearance. That's what I said. It could happen. Plenty of players make it all-star for myriad of reasons. Is DeJounte Murray a real all-star? I don't think so. Just to be honest, I watched those games all season long. That season, he was not a legitimate all-star, right? You put winning in the mix, and people will see you in a different lens. So that's all I'm saying.
From the rim protection roles, a good test for the rest of the guys to figure out how are we going to step up when Wemby can't be at the rim.
Yeah, I think that we'll definitely see that a lot as we have in the past. I think it was also just a good test in terms of, again, different groups. You know, Biz gave us 14 good minutes. Jordan McLaughlin, Carter Bryant gave us 10-plus minutes, and we needed them. You know, we had a hard-fought game last night and quick turnaround, and we needed them. And I thought Harrison Barnes did a commendable job also. He guarded.
Harrison Barnes was really good. What happened to Rob Dillingham? He can't guard. He's too small. That's what happened to him. I was very confused when we first draft. You can go back to that live stream when we first drafted Rob Dillingham. I calmed down because I didn't want Rob Dillingham, but I calmed down and I was like, okay, then maybe the Spurs really like him, and there got to be some guards that we're getting rid of or something. Because I was like, it make a lot of sense to me at first. But a lot of Spurs fans wanted Rob Dillingham, which I didn't really care too much. Yeah, too small. Not good enough defensively. Like, he's really hard to play. And Lee's getting bigger and bigger, you know? You got to be really talented to be small and make it in the NBA nowadays. He's hurt. That's fine. But they definitely wasn't playing him initially at all. So, yeah. He's not going to get playing time.
You know, Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes for a lot of the night and made them work, and then also hit some big shots for us down the stretch. So I think, yeah, the game plan execution with that of trying to stay to our identity defensively and not get too far extended was definitely a good test, and we'll probably continue to see that.
This might be a silly question. It is a silly question 4 games in.
Great.
But, you know, a lot of the guys in that locker room have not had a stretch like this, four wins in a row. Is part of the job just to keep them grounded and not getting too excited about, you know, the start to the season?
Yeah, you know, it's hard. We have young players that are good, and there's a lot of teams doing this league, and there's...
He hurt his nose. I just looked it up. I know he hurt his nose. Fractured his nose.
A certain level of enthusiasm, excitement, energy in young people, period, right? So sometimes it's a superpower and it's for good, and sometimes we need to take a deep breath and compose ourselves and show some poise, and sometimes we need to be held accountable of not getting ahead of ourselves. But these guys right now have done a good job since the start of training camp of just taking it day by day and not trying to ride the ebbs and flows and the roller coasters of the emotions of the long season.
Coach, you guys build a big...
Lord knows that was not the case first season, right? Like, Wemby was so excited after our first win, and that has not been the case. It seems like everyone, very reminiscent of what Chris Paul taught them, is that you're supposed to win. You know what I mean? Like, that's the main thing. Like, you're supposed to win. You need to go into these games expecting to win. That's like bare minimum. That's baseline. That's basically showing up to the game. Would you get excited about showing up to the game? Then don't get excited about winning. You're supposed to win. You're winners. That's what you do. And they're really taking that to heart. Like, you can see them having fun. You can see them enjoying it. But it is not carrying over into the next game. Obviously. Like, look at how they took care of the Nets. And then this game, Spurs of last season would have won and then went into the next game and looked like crap, right? But they went into this next game as aggressive as they've been all season long. Like it's nonstop. They're gonna bring it every single time, and it's a beautiful thing to see because when the starters sit, the role of Dylan Harper and Keldon Johnson is to continue that pressure, and they continue the tone. The tone continues. It doesn't stop. So you kind of punch them in the mouth all game long. Now, can you keep that up for the entirety of a game? We've seen it once. We've seen it once thus far, and they did against the Mavericks. But other than that, we haven't seen it. So, and it's super early in the season, so you don't want to get wore down too much. But, yeah.
Lead early and had to fight through a third quarter offensive slowdown. What impressed you the most about how the group handled that particular stretch and closed it out?
I think we've had a couple times, as well as tonight, are just a good competitive response at times. NBA games are long. You know, when you get up early, it'd be nice to just stay up the whole game, but typically it doesn't happen. The coaches and teams and players in this league are really good, and they're typically going to go on a run. Sometimes you hit a rough patch, as you alluded to, and I think to continue to find ways to stop their runs and to start our runs is something we're just really trying to.
I'll say it. I said it 50 million times. I'll say it again. Getting Fox back is going to help this team significantly. My God, significantly. Like he said, these runs happen. You get a little, but what really hurts us is when we get in a slump and then we don't have a legitimate point guard out there. You know, like when Dylan Harper's out there, everything looks better. Just to be honest. But when we have to like lean on Castle right now, it's not as great. If you have to lean on McLaughlin, which he's good. He's been good. He's been good, by the way. I think he's been good. But he's good in the Trey Jones sense of good, right? Like game manager good. But you need somebody that can actually control the pace, control the tempo, you know? And know when to attack, when to hold back, when to pass out, you know? And right now, Castle just isn't that, and that's okay. But yeah, I think that's what's hurting us the most is mistakes just compile on top of each other. It doesn't just stop. Yeah, I like them too.
Commit to. And a lot of times that's not making the shot or doing something with the basketball in your.
Castle has that shoot first mentality. Kind of. I think it's because passing isn't his like primary skill. He's fine at it, but he's not. Yeah, he's not a point. That's all it is. He's just not a point.
Hands.
Since you guys are undefeated now in preseason and regular.
Sorry, somebody says Castle isn't a point, but I do like that he's getting these minutes. Kind of how Jeremy, while playing bad, helped his overall game. Yeah, for sure. But unfortunately, we're kind of in a different situation than we were with Jeremy, where we knew the Spurs were not necessarily trying to tank, right? But we knew that the Spurs were not going to do anything that season, right? I mean, at least I knew, like, we weren't going to make a play-in. We weren't not going to make the playoffs. So you can kind of afford to do that. But right now, like, I guess we're winning, so I guess it doesn't matter. But we're in a different tier right now, right? Like, we don't have time to like experiment too much. We're trying to make it to the playoffs, and be successful in the playoffs. So with that, you know, you can't get too much experimenting. But that's about to change real quick. Fox will be back in not that long.
Season, are you seeing early signs of the culture that you've been trying to build here?
No. We've played well, but I'm not going to say that.
What was the question?
Commit to. And a lot of times that's not making the shot or doing something with the basketball in your hands.
Since you guys are undefeated now in preseason and regular season, are you seeing early signs of the culture that you've been trying to build here?
No.
Do you see early signs of the culture you're trying to build here now that you're undefeated? Why would he say no to that? You guys know why he would say no to that? I guess just being humble? I mean, I guess the no for me would be the culture has been what the culture is, you know? And we are building. But even saying like, yeah, we're building a culture almost seems as if like we're building a new culture. But the culture is what it is. Like it hasn't changed necessarily. Like the pieces have changed. The talent has changed. The coaching staff has changed. But the overall culture of what is expected out of being a Spur, the fundamentals, I mean, that's just there. I don't think that changes. And it's definitely not a better culture now that you have Mitch Johnson. The culture just is. Mental mistakes? You think that's what it is? He responded saying the turnovers? Oh, crap. Sorry.
We've played well, but I'm not going to say that.
2 days off between now and Miami. Is there any chance any of the 5 guys who are out?
Oh, you guys are just saying that we still get 20 turnovers. That's not culture. I don't know. Funny how 4 games and that one clip of Mitch changed my whole opinion on him. That I will say that one clip. I know that's silly because we don't get to see him day to day, but this is the thing. I went off of testimonials, okay? Like off of Mitch Johnson, you couldn't go off of last season. There was nothing for me to go off of last season because that wasn't his team. So some people will say, "Oh, you're making excuses for him." Whatever. It wasn't his team. He was just trying his best to keep that ball rolling. We didn't know if Popovich would get back, but I will say we looked into all the testimonials about him. All of the players that were currently on the team that talked about him, previous coaches that talked about him, we just got to take their word for that, right? They wouldn't just give him praise, just give him praise. And then pile on top of it that he is, his mentor is Popovich, right? And Popovich doesn't just bring anybody on his coaching staff. Like, you got to be top tier. So there was lots of things outside of Mitch Johnson that we could say and create a image to say, okay, he's probably pretty good, right? But that clip, I do think that was a great clip. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that was a phenomenal clip showing, because at that point, what I really liked about that clip is the Spurs were up by 25. Like the way that he was talking was almost if like it was a close game. We were up by 25. We were destroying them, and that was his response. Like he sounded like a freaking drill sergeant, bro. Like he was really good. He's a great coach. I think I want to lean and say he is. I'm just gonna keep saying good for now. I really like Mitch Johnson. I'm just gonna lean into good. I'm leaning to good, and by mid-season I'll probably be on that great side. But I'm gonna lean into good.
Might be back by then.
You know, it's a good question. It's hard, too, because then we have, I believe, 2 more days off. You have this time. You don't have time in this league. When you get it, it almost feels weird. But it's a good time for this team. It's like a good bye week in the NFL. I don't know, but
Exactly. Good for first year is amazing. Yeah.
I hope we continue to get the troops back, and if we don't, at least these guys can get some rest.
2-2.
Wait, say that
I
again?
hope this team, when you get it, it almost feels good.
Might be back by then. Between now and Miami, is there any chance any of the 5 guys who are out?
Okay, so I heard, he said now in Miami. I heard that it won't be Miami. Hold on. I think it might be Sunday. And obviously he wouldn't say. He's not going to say. Let's see here. Full schedule. Yeah, Thursday. I didn't hear Thursday. I think this is my guess. Based on what I've heard, it could be completely wrong. It could be completely off, but we'll see if I'm right. What I've heard is Thursday, Olynyk, and then Sunday could be Sohan and Fox. That's what I'm hearing. We'll see what happens, though. I don't know if the Spurs will want to, like, wait it out until there's another home game. I don't think they'll do that. But I think they're aiming for Sunday. Thursday might be a little too soon. I'll be shocked. But I heard Olynyk might be back by Thursday.
Might be back by then.
You know, it's a good question. It's hard, too, because then we have, I believe, 2 more days off. You have this time. You don't have time in this league. When you get it, it almost feels weird. But it's a good time for this team. It's like a good bye week in the NFL. I don't know, but I hope we continue to get the troops back, and if we don't, at least these guys can get some rest.
2-2, right? The next.
That sounded like it could be. It sounded like he's saying it could be Thursday, but I think it's Sunday. But Olenek might be good Thursday.
After the next two.
I don't know. It's hard to get that far ahead, but yeah.
Is there something from practice that you see is really carrying over to game days that you like a lot?
I think the first day of training camp, we talked about competitiveness and we talked about paying attention to details, and they're trying. We can be better. We can continue to raise our standard and be more consistent, but they're trying.
You're playing from ahead a lot. That's kind of like a luxury for like the top teams in the league, and it takes them a while to learn how to not.
That makes me nervous, playing from ahead constantly. It makes me nervous a little bit. But we did get the crap slapped out of us that last game at the beginning. So
Below those leads, you were kind of talking about not getting bored and that kind of stuff. What's been the message you've been giving to the team when the opponent is coming back, and even maybe if it takes a lead like you had against Brooklyn, to get them not completely full?
Yeah, honestly, it's really the same even before you get the lead. You know, I think it's just sometimes it takes a little bit more.
yeah, I know. What
stronger communication at a certain time, whether that's just to get back to what you were doing to that point, or to just take a deep breath and
it's easy to take your foot off the gas pedal, right? Like to not get too high. It has to be hard. I mean, the Spurs are really going on runs. One of the most awesome things about this season is that we didn't start off at home. These aren't all home wins. They started off the Dallas Mavericks one wasn't that hostile, but I would say the Pelicans game was a very hostile situation, and they still managed to win it. I think it's very easy to get the motivation, have your communication right when your back is against the wall, or you're in enemy territory, right? It's very easy to like communicate because you forced to communicate. But in a situation where you're at home and you're up by 20, 30, you're having a good time, like the fans are going crazy, right? Like you got Nacho Libre over there, like dancing his butt off, like you're having a good time, right? You're having a really good time. But then, wait, I probably should. Okay, I said in the other segment, I probably should emphasize what I meant by Nacho Libre, because literally that sounded racist. No, I'm talking about this guy. Yeah, I'm talking about this guy. Okay, so before people were like, oh my God, he just called like random Latinos, Nacho Libre. No, I was talking about this guy. I was literally talking about this guy. Okay, you got him dancing, having a good time. But yeah, so when you have stuff like that going on, like it's very easy to lose track and not stay as aggressive. But yeah,
do less is
having a good
typically
time.
how it happens. But for us, it's going to take time. We haven't played together. Jeff alluded to it. It's just reality that some of these guys haven't been in this position. Forget even winning.
Miami's going to be without Tyler Hero.
And they're losing, just playing big roles in this league. So it will take time. And if we have the competitive response and right approach with that, along with putting our energy in the right spots, you can have a little success while you learn.
Coach, back to the start of the season, maybe on the other end of the kind of keeping them grounded, as much success as the franchise has enjoyed over the years, I think this is maybe only the fourth time or third time that a Spurs team has started 4-0. So I know, yes, it's early, but anything to be.
It's 82. Like, I think it's fun to like think about a little bit, but like, it's a lot of games throughout the season. It doesn't matter that much. 4-0 is like nothing. Like in the NFL, that's huge. In the NBA, that's nothing. You can lose that in an instant.
Said about that and the good start that this group is putting together.
No. We've played good basketball. We finished a couple games, but again, there's been a lot of close games. Ball can go both ways. We got to keep getting better. But we've had some good competitive responses at times early on.
Keeping it humble. So he doesn't see a culture shift yet, and he's definitely not going to go as far as to say that 4-0 means something. That's really good. You know what else is good? Today's sponsor, Sleeper. Big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this segment. As I always say, guys, if you are interested in daily fantasy sports at all, check out Sleeper. Right now, I'm just on the social media segment, which it shows a bunch of highlights of what's going on around the league, different stats, injury reports, news, updates, just overall everything. And when there's a game actually going on, and let's just say you got to go away from the TV for a second, you can click on the San Antonio Spurs game and you can actually watch it play by play. Not the actual footage, because the NBA is very stingy with that, but you can see like exactly what's going on. So even in this game where it was who is this right here? I can't really see from the Cavs and the Pistons, you can see play by play, and at the top it's not showing it right now because the game is off, but you can see like who has the ball, what's going on and all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested in that at all, please go check it out. And if you don't care about the social media part and you do care about the daily fantasy sports part, all you have to do is go over to the picks section. You can go to any sport, NBA in particular, obviously. All the games are, they got the games for tomorrow. So yeah, you can do more, less, all that good stuff. And yeah, so if you guys are interested, you'll get $20 entry for free. So you get $20 right off the bat if you play. But also, like I said, just use the promo code CLAN and you get 100% match up to $100. So big shout out to today's sponsor. And yeah, let's get it. All right, so got a couple more to get to, guys. Let's see what we got here. Wembanyama. I guess we should do Harrison Barnes. That's weird. We haven't done a Harrison Barnes in a while. Yeah, we have not done a Harrison Barnes in a while. Let's see.
Is it hard to believe that in the history of this franchise, 4-0 is the record start? We just looked that up. No Spurs team has ever gone 5-0.
Is he going to care? Mitch Johnson didn't care.
Well, that's a good indication that we'll get to 50 wins, and that's a good sign. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just a testament to each game's been different, but guys have found different ways to win. People have stepped up at different times, and kind of we've done it as a group, so it's been good.
That's actually exactly what I said. That was actually exactly what I said. I said that the San Antonio Spurs have been finding different ways to win, and that's what made the preseason impressive to me. It's because every game was a different scenario, every game was a different situation, and they managed to win it. Like they were struggling in this area and managed to win. That area managed to win. And not only did they win, they won convincingly. Other than the Heat game, they won convincingly throughout preseason. So you can kind of see it, right? Where they make certain mistakes, but yet and still they were able to, come alive. I thought that's really good.
The flip side of that equation is a lot of the younger kids in that locker room have never had a stretch like this where you even won 4 in a row. Is part of the deal now to kind of keep them from getting too excited about that?
Chris Paul has pounded them over the head with this. They are totally fine. They're not going to get too high, get too low. Yeah. For
sure. I mean, it's all perspective, right? I mean, technically, Dylan's never lost a game in a Spurs uniform, right? So it's like, there's yeah. I mean, there's definitely a balance, but I think it's a lot of the issues and the things that we've talked about in these games. It kind of can sometimes be minimized just because you win and you feel like, oh, okay, this is how it goes. But over the course of the season, I think focusing on those details, I think guys are seeing that and hearing that message of there's a lot of areas that we can improve on.
You feel like there'll still be film sessions where we're going to look at mistakes and look at what we can clean up?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think, in the New Orleans game, I mean, there was a few plays like that in the Brooklyn game, obviously giving up that lead, and tonight's game, right? I mean, just a few plays here or there, right? It changes the whole environment, right? So I think for us, it's just a matter of being in a situation that we haven't been in before, right? Playing with some leads and just having the maturity to maintain those.
I really don't want us to have to, which I don't think we have, but I don't want us to have to just like lean on the talent necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, got to play the right way. Can't be too sloppy. It does feel like a little bit that I just don't want to have to lean solely on Wemby, right? Okay, Wemby save us, or solely on Dylan Harper. Like, all right, Dylan Harper, go save us. It'll happen. You'll need it. later on in the season, but I want us to be playing pretty consistent. I just don't want us to shoot ourselves in the foot. It seemed like a few of these games we shot ourselves in the foot for no reason. But like I said, not having a point guard really helps, or really hurts. So,
what do you feel like your role is when you encounter those situations where teams start to make that comeback?
Honestly, just to try to slow things down, try to get us settled, try to figure out ways to, because Victor is a high volume guy for us. Our guards have the ball a lot. What plays or actions can you call out there and just make it easier for everyone? And I think obviously we're still developing chemistry, just being in some of those different situations about what plays work for us and what don't. But I think guys are doing a great job.
Harrison, how about the balance? Again, today, 6 guys in double figures, had the balance yesterday as well. Just everybody contributing, not only in the point column, but in other areas as well so far.
I think one thing we talked about before the season, and we saw it kind of, in our scrimmages and just practice and things like that, was that every single night there's plenty of offense to go around. We're always going to have people who can step up, put the ball in the basket, right? But defensively, how can we do that every single night, and how can we cheer for each other's success? I think that's the biggest thing for us, because it's such a long season, because health is a part of this game, that we're gonna need different guys at different times to step up. And I think guys have responded to the call, whoever it's been, whether it's been Jordan McLaughlin, whether it's been Carter's minutes tonight, whether it's been Bismack's minutes, whoever it is that maybe was in one role, but then a guy goes down and they have to step up.
You guys shot 67 shots tonight. I can't remember last time I saw a box score with that few field goal attempts. How has, I guess, the tempo been for you guys of balancing smart half-court play and then still getting aggressive in transition?
Dylan Harper.
I think honestly the biggest thing for us is just managing turnovers. I think whether we're playing fast, whether we're playing slow, I think it's a matter of, can we continue to hit singles, right? Sometimes when we play fast, we try to go for the home run play, right? And obviously we have a lot of players who can make exciting plays, right? But over the course of games, especially when we get to the crunch time, like how can we just value the basketball? And I think
because good God, last couple games, oh my God, bro, preseason. It seems like a lot of things that's been saving us over the last couple games is the fact that we started off so strong, and that worries me a little bit. The Chet stuff, you guys talking about the Chet stuff? Gosh, we do need to talk about the Chet stuff. Maybe we should combine that with the Wemby press conference.
No, it's an area that we know we have to grow in. We've had some high turnover games, and fortunately that hasn't come back to bite us.
You guys have tried to be pretty patient moving the ball and find wide open shots. So you had one shot in the second half. It was kind of like pretty much a contested three, but there have been some possessions of like kind of meandering around. I guess as a veteran, at what point do you just step up? You're like, I just got to take the shot. We got to just be a little bit more decisive.
Well, I think sometimes it's the balance between, do we take, a contested three or a catch and shoot three, right? Where there's a higher probability of getting an offensive rebound and a kick out, versus do we drive into traffic, either get the shot blocked and or turn it over, trying to make a jump pass, right? Those are the plays that we're trying to get away from, right? Obviously, it's good to draw two, make the defense collapse and then kick out, and or a Victor double team, but how can we minimize kind of those live ball turnovers where we're just, giving a team, 20 extra points at the end of the night?
You still notice teams shine, like tonight's a night when Victor didn't have a block until the closing minutes, but it seemed like there was possession after possession after possession when Toronto was actively avoiding him. Do you still see his presence felt in that way?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, teams are literally just driving in there and just not even shooting, right? Which, it's good and bad, right? But I think, it's obviously a credit to Vic in terms of the presence that he has. I mean, I don't know if there's a stat that, derail drives by just stepping up, but he definitely affects the game without having to block a shot.
I guess the only stat you could look at is a team's attempts around the rim when, like, a certain amount of feet when Wemby's in the game. That's probably the only thing you can do. But I think sometimes they even, like, hesitate to shoot threes because Wemby's out there. So I don't know what you do. I don't know.
Start that.
Manu or Tony clan? Manu. Overall, I think Tony might have been I don't know. They were both pretty great. Maybe Tony was like peak between those two. Tony probably had the larger peak, the bigger peak. But I love Manu. Manu's my favorite player ever.
That's that derailed drive.
Yeah, making the thing. That's good.
Perfect.
Harrison, you shot nearly perfect tonight and had some big buckets in the fourth when Toronto began to close in on that gap. What was your read on those particular possessions, and how did you stay efficient under pressure?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for us, and I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it, is just
I mean, he's been doing this forever. Like, that was not pressure. He did not care.
the vibes are high in the locker room. I think there's a lot of trust to go around. I think there's a lot of confidence to go around for anybody. And I think for us, the biggest thing is just shooting with confidence. I think that's a message that we talk about a lot, and guys embody. And so I think, obviously, tonight it was me in a few of those possessions, but whoever it is, we want anyone to just shoot those with confidence.
Speaking of your teammates, you've been around a lot of teams, but what stands out about this particular group's focus during an undefeated start in the regular season?
Well, I think the youthfulness of the team helps, because I don't think we read too much into that. I think it's more of the excitement of guys just getting a chance to play and just excited to be playing in front of great fans. I think every night, I think that's more of the focus, is how do we not let the excitement of just our games, speed us up or just, make us do some wild things out there. But I think, like I said, everyone's excited to continue to build off what we've started these first 4 games.
You look around the league and the whole you're youthful, you're young, and all that stuff. It does matter, but nowadays in today's NBA, young teams are winning championships, right? You just go win one. You got to figure it out. I think it's really nice that you could see someone like SGA, and he can slow down the pace, and he knows when to attack, when not to attack. And we just gotta hope and pray that Wemby is at that point where he can definitely do that. He's been showing that he can do it this season, but a couple seasons prior, not really. He's not really there yet, I don't think, with knowing when. Or maybe he is, and we just didn't have the talent. Yeah, we just didn't have the talent. But we'll see. We'll see more and more of it. But we know that Fox has that, so yeah.
You talk about the vibes. I know Mitch mentioned you feel like y'all are just trying more. And when it comes to that, is that just different with the culture this year? Is that different with the roster this year? Why do you feel like you said y'all are just trying more?
Well, I mean, you have to ask him about that. But just in terms of the vibes, I mean, they're high. I mean, there's a lot of, I think, off-court chemistry that that has been built over the summer, just, guys hanging out, things like that. And I think that's showing up on the court. I think the connectivity is showing up on the court. And, whether we're 4-0 or 0-4, I just feel like the energy is different. So I think that's just the biggest thing that I've noticed, just in terms of how guys communicate, how guys are connected in timeouts, on the court, during runs, positive and negative, all those types of things.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah, they definitely have more chemistry this season than we've seen prior. DeJounte Murray. Excuse me. But yeah, Spurs look connected, and yeah, it seemed like they're genuine friends. So that's nice to see. But yeah. And also, guys, once again, if you guys would like to support the sponsors, it supports the channel, go check out Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, you can do that. There's plenty of different things that you can do on the app when it pertains to fantasy sports. Or my favorite feature is the social media aspect. So there's breaking news, injuries, updates. You can watch. He gave him a clown face. That's funny. Joker. But yeah, so there's overall just basic news, highlights, all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested at all in the Sleeper app, go download it, link below. And if you do decide to do the daily fantasy part of it, oh my God, I cannot speak. It's really late tonight. You can use the code CLAN and you get 100% match up to $100 or $20 right off the bat if you just want to play. It's free. So anyways, I'm gonna be going to bed soon. This is a late live stream. Good God. But yeah, check out Sleeper. Link in the description. So All right. Last but not least. Okay, last but not least, we got a couple things. So, all right. So first and foremost, Chatter already brought this up, so I guess I should as well, is that we got a very strange take here that appeared on, is this ESPN? Appeared on ESPN, in which, that's Michael C. right? Michael C. Wright. This is what he had to say about Chet Holmgren and Wembanyama. As you guys know, there has been a narrative continuously being pushed by ESPN and other talking heads because okay, never mind. I thought that was somebody else. Is that Michael C. Wright? I can't remember. I'm very sleepy tonight. But anyways, there's been this continuous narrative because they don't actually talk about basketball. They don't actually watch these games, so they're constantly trying to find something that they think they can sink their teeth into, right? And now that LeBron James isn't in the news and this might end up being his last season, they're obviously jumping on the Victor Wembanyama train. But instead of just talking about Vic and how great he is and how, wow, he actually looks like he's legit, mentality wise, sometimes they dabble into the unnecessary drama. I'll just play it so you can see what I'm talking about. But, I got to be careful because I don't know if it's copyright with it being ESPN, but.
Might be Chet.
Oh. His rival growing up in international play.
Rival, yeah. Yep. They've been going back to under 20s, under 18 even, right? And Chet got a championship.
Yeah, he got a ring.
Wemby doesn't have a championship. So I was told by somebody inside that room that Wemby is motivated by Chet having one up on him on the championship. And
so he was told that Wembanyama is motivated by Chet Holmgren having a championship. That is the most silly thing I've heard in my entire life. Because I hate this type of narrative because they're basically making it seem like Chet is the wall that Wemby has to climb over, right? Like that's the gate. That's the gatekeeper, right? Like you have to get past him if you want to be great, if you want. And I don't think Wemby sees it that way at all. Wemby is the wall. Chet will have to get past Wemby. But like the idea that because Chet has a championship as a role player, that motivates Wemby. What does motivate Wemby, though, I will say this, and there is a difference. Maybe you can say there is no difference between these two. I think there's a huge difference. Is what motivates him is the media pushing that Chet is better than him. Or not even that he's better than him. They don't say Chet is better than him. But that's a legitimate rival to Wemby. I think that will motivate Wemby more than anything. Because Wemby more than likely sees someone like Giannis as like, okay, this is my competitor, or KD, this is my competitor. But by them saying Chet is your competitor, I think that he takes offense to that because he constantly bullies Chet all the time, right? I think that is a little ridiculous for them to push that, okay? I mean, you guys ever seen Breaking Bad, right? Like, greatest show of all time. I don't care. It's the greatest show ever. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Most people won't disagree with that. But, you know the part where, it's the whole I'm the one who knocks. Like, look, you had plenty of time to watch the show. I won't spoil too much. But, like, basically Walter he says the saying, I'll just paraphrase it, is that somebody opens their door and they get shot. And you think I'm the one that got shot. No, I'm the one that knocks. That's Wemby. They think that Wemby is the one that opens up the door to Chet, and now he has to get past Chet. No, he is the shooter. He is the one who knocked, right? Like he is on a whole nother pedigree. It's not this rivalry. Stop trying to put them on the same level. Like, I know some people say, oh, it could be like Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, which there was a big difference between Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan, but I honestly feel like the gap is even larger than that. Like, no offense. I think Chet is really good, but I think the gap is even larger than Tim Duncan and KG. Like, I really hope people stop doing that. I really hope people stop doing that because it's starting to get very frustrating, very annoying, and Chet is not on the same level at all as Victor Wembanyama. At all. Okay? Is Chet a great player? Yes. I think he's going to be a very good player in the NBA. I think he's going to be a great player in the NBA. But we're talking superstar Wemby. I don't know if Chet will be a star, but Wemby is a superstar right now. So, I don't know. I don't even think that's I don't think that should be controversial. I mean, look at him, bro. Like, look at him. I'm watching all these games. I criticize certain things day to day. And God, I thought Wemby was off the last game and he had 31 points. Like, I don't know. He didn't get sleep and he got 31 points and 6 blocks. Like, I don't know, bro. You tell me who's better. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, so we're going to go into this Wemby. I wanted to start off with that because chat members, brought it up. And also, it's interesting, right? But I'm gonna talk about a quick sponsor, and then we're gonna go into Victor Wembanyama's press conference here because we haven't watched this one yet. So this will be the last one for the night. But really quick, if you guys want to check out Sleeper, go check it out. Link in the description box. There is a social media element of it as well, along with daily fantasy sports. So if you're into any of that, please go check it out. Use the link below in the description box and use the promo code CLAN if you do decide to do daily fantasy sports. And as you can see on the screen, you'll get 100% match up to $100. But if you don't care about that at all, just download it just for the social media aspect of it overall, where you can see all the different highlights, stats, injury reports, all that good stuff, just to keep yourself informed in what's going on around the NBA. All right, so let's take a look at what Vic had to say.
How are you feeling about the 4-0 start?
Everybody's been repeating the coach. You got to do the same. It doesn't matter. Say it.
Great. I mean,
crap.
I think those are 4 games that we're supposed to win. Like if we lost.
Oh, he said the thing. We said that we've been on almost 2 hours. We said that like an hour ago. That all these games are ones they should win.
Then we would have been disappointed, and we need to keep the standard. So, but say we're where we want to be.
The thing you just said about games we're supposed to win, is that kind of a measure of how things have changed over the last 2 years? There's more of those games where you feel like you're supposed to win than before.
Of course, yeah.
And also Chris Paul implement. Can we say Chris Paul? We don't bring up Chris Paul no more. Can they say Chris Paul? Say Chris Paul.
It is. I also mean like say one day we lose a game and the other team made a record amount of threes and a field goal percentage and we respect the scouting report. Of course, it's never all right to lose, but it's we wouldn't feel as bad as a team where we throw it away. And to lose this game tonight, we would have had to throw it away, and we didn't do it. So it also shows progress.
You talked before the game about your efficiency. That's standing out for him. Then you go 7 of 8, 10 of 10 at the line, plus 35. Is that becoming more and more a point of pride just to have that efficiency at a high level?
Point of pride, yeah, but also straightforward. The best way to help my team. Sometimes it's easy to underestimate the value of turning down shots, and
that's what I was saying too. That this superstar only took 8 points. He went 7 for 8. He only took 8 shots, but a big part of it was, hey, everyone else is getting going. And that's more important right now because early on in the game, Wemby was asking for the ball because he knew I could destroy Jakob, which he did. Like a crazy 360 layup, like he did destroy him. But at the same time, he was like, hey, look, everyone else is getting going right now. Like, it doesn't matter. Let me just do my role. Right now, my role is just be a defender and help my team and facilitate for them. He's very smart at that age, because some people, especially when you're as great as Wemby, you come in with quite a bit of an ego. Luckily for us, I mean, we've had a history of looking at, we had a history of looking at a Spurs team that was unselfish. And Wemby grew up and, watching who wins championships, and it's always unselfish teams. But we could have easily ended up getting not to say Michael Jordan was selfish necessarily, but their best option was for him to just score, right? But we could have got a Michael Jordan situation, a Kobe situation where you're just so great and you're like, it's me or the highway, you know. But you know, he's very humble, and he's gotten to see a plethora of teams that win the right way. So,
you know, I've done a lot of work this summer to recognize the situation and the situations and when to take a shot, when to not, and take the highest quality shots possible.
HB said the vibes are really high for the team right now.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying this?
Yeah, we're loving it. It's we always love playing basketball no matter what, but it's a little bit easier, you know, to go to bed at night when you win. It's easier to come to practice. It's easier to do the hard things for recovery or scouting or the little efforts on the court, because you have the results right in front of your eyes. So it's like a positive cycle, you know.
Are you aware of the blocked shot streak that you had?
that's where people talk, like fans say it all the time, like winning is addictive. Yeah, that's what it is.
Have 89.
Yeah, I can't wait till Soban comes back too. Should be back Sunday. That's what I heard, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know the number, but I know it. Yeah.
Like when it starts to get late, do you start hunting those at all, or? Is that too simplistic?
I don't think so, because like there's moments where I'm hunting blocks even when I got 6 already. So it's my job.
On that note,
Yeah, that was just the first time they tried him, and they got blocked. That's all that was.
are there nights when it feels like teams just aren't challenging you? And do you get any sense of pride when guys, instead of going at you, throw the ball out of bounds, like happened a couple times tonight? Is that,
Yeah.
in other words, is your defensive impact in more than just the blocks, but the
Oh yeah,
drive?
for sure. I think I had a solid defensive game. Without blocks or with one block. So yeah, there's many more ways to impact the game, and if you know, yeah, it's gonna happen more and more for sure that guys turn down shots.
HB had pitched a new stat.
The most insane thing that I've seen Wemby, like, the most insane thing I've seen from Wemby on a multitude of occasions now has been when he blocks you, comes down, someone else on the opposing team has the ball, they're in the air, Wemby's still on the ground, and he blocks them too. That's like, I think the best one that we've seen is when Jabari Smith tried him at the rim to posterize him. Wemby blocked him. The momentum forced Wemby to go out of bounds, and then he got his own rebound and went up again, and Wemby was able to recover and block it again. Like, that was, when I saw that, I was like, there's no one better than him. Like, this is the greatest shot blocker we've ever seen, hands down, right? Everyone can hate and say, oh, well, he's 8 feet tall, he's supposed to do that. Well, tell me another, like, 7'3", 7'2" player that can do that. 7'4". Tell me another one that can do that. That's when I knew, like, that's scary. The fact that you're not safe. You should be safe on your recovery. You are not safe on your recovery. Like, he has follow-up blocks for you. It's insane. He does it all the time too. Yeah. By the way, let me bring this up. I might as well bring it up now. We won't do a separate segment. One thing I know, you guys probably noticed it as well, but it looks as if Wemby does have a go-to move. So let me just bring that up. Oh man, I get copyrighted for this. So I'll play a little bit and stop. So as you can see here, both of these clips I took where you can see Wemby's trying to get to a spot. He's trying to get to the key.
Guys, bro, it's actually scary.
Look at that.
Like, I see people in the
nasty, and then this one.
Early back-to-back for the Spurs.
You know I can't. Gets back to the key.
Oh, nice.
Same move.
Shakes.
Yeah, I think that's his go-to. He likes getting to that left side. He did it again in this game as well. He didn't shoot it the same way. He actually shot with his right hand. But as you guys saw, it was like a really clutch bucket at the end of this past game. He did the same thing. Like, he gets to that left side of the rim, starts at the key, tries to get to that left side of the rim, like, every single time. Every single time. That might be his go-to. Anyways, where are we at? Here we go. The Wemby step through, sure.
Well, he called it drives derailed. In other words, count the number of times that a player decides not to challenge you. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea because we do a lot of video with Sean Sweeney, you know, to analyze the situations, and there's many times it's like, like before we even get to this shot, to having to block this shot, you know, there's stuff we can do beforehand.
Congrats on the Player of the Week.
Thank you.
Wondering if, you know.
Oh, I didn't know he was Player of the Week.
If you have any thoughts on, you know, capturing that the first week of the regular season.
A little bit of pride, you know, and but you know, I think the most important stat is the 3-0 before getting this Player of the Week. 3 wins, no losses. So this is what I'm focused on. It was like, oh, that's cool.
Anyone think Wemby's on roids? I think Wemby had a legitimate offseason. Man, I got so much hate for saying I didn't want him playing Eurobasket. I didn't know that the blood clot would happen. Like, obviously, I didn't want that to happen. But I definitely wanted him to have a legitimate offseason. And people were like, the Eurobasket is going to hold him back. And I'm like, you really underestimate, like, the focus that Wemby has. He's not taking that as, oh, that's just some practice for the regular season. He's taking that as, yes, go win it, you know? Like, I don't know. I know it's a short period. The Eurobasket is a short period of time, but preparation for that, Wemby would have went all in on that. And I don't think we would have seen this type of progress if it weren't for him having a legitimate offseason. And if he does what he did this offseason, every offseason, we should just retire the NBA after he retires.
I have a game today, though.
And now with the 4-0, Vic, would it surprise you to hear that matches the best start in franchise history? It matches the best a Spurs team has ever started.
Spurs never went 5-0?
Spurs never went 5-0.
No.
Wow, right.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Because Spurs have the highest win percentage in like the last 3 years or whatever, right? Wow.
Wait, is that real? We never went 4-0. Wait, he said 5-0. Chad, I need a correction here. I thought that we've won 4-0 before, but it's been since like 2017 or something. Is it saying we never went 5-0? So if they win one more, we never been 5-0. What? So we've been 4-0. The last time we've done that is since 2017, right? 5-0 this decade? So which one is it? Is it we haven't been 5-0 this decade, or is it ever? That is weird, is it? Man, I don't know. Maybe it's not. You think the NBA, maybe it's one of those things where the NBA, like, because we were winning so much, they tried to make sure we were on national television early and we went against good teams early, or 2017, back when the Claw was the captain. That's when we went 4-0, right? One more win and it's the new dynasty. We legit never been 5-0? I'm wondering if that's part of it, is that like those early games that, because Spurs would have been on TV in those early games and they would have put us against a good team, right? Maybe. Oh, I'm just guessing. That's crazy. That's crazy. But then again, you got to keep in mind too that when you're winning and you're winning championships and you're very successful, teams are hunting for you, right? So it's a little harder. We was on TV game 1 this year, Clan. Well, I know, but we went against the Dallas Mavericks. We just bullied them. I think that's probably a big part of it. Like, teams are hunting. Like, you're the Spurs, you're the standard, right? So teams are like really locking in. Maybe that's what it is. But that's still crazy.
Let's beat that record.
Days away from Halloween. Have you come up with a costume yet?
Sorry?
Days away from Halloween.
Days away, but we don't get a game on Halloween, so we don't get to see a costume this year, unfortunately.
Hey, Tony Parker was at the game today, and do you realize you're the first Spur to average 30 points over the first 4 games since Tony Parker in 08?
What year was that?
2008.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know.
That was peak Parker too.
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of positive things. You know, it reminds me that, you know, a collective results just trickle down to individual rewards. You know.
You guys are currently undefeated, but each game you've had different challenges, but still able to close out. What's been the biggest sign of growth that you've seen, not just in wins, but how your team handles runs, adversity, or
I need Carolina T to take a picture next to Wembanyama. I don't know how tall she is, but I think it'd be very funny because he's freakishly tall. I need that to happen expeditiously.
Execution.
Can still get better, especially coming out of second half. But yeah, I mean, we definitely know ourselves better, know where to get to, and also for me, it's like recognizing also the game better. Like I hear an opponent say they're gonna do this or that, and like immediately thinking, okay, that means we need to run this. So it's I guess it's just individual growth. It's you know, a sum of, I mean, a bunch of players, you know, coming together for the same project.
Wemby's ripped, bro.
Collective results trickle down to individual rewards. When you say stuff like that, is that you or did you read that somewhere?
No,
He's always
that's
said
me.
that. He's always said that.
Good. You talk about
Just come up with those.
you talk about the vibes being high and 4-0 start.
That was like a little bit of French swagger right there. That reminded me of Tony. I don't know why. He sounded like Tony Parker right there.
Collective results trickle down to individual rewards. When you say stuff like that, is that you or did you read that somewhere?
No, that's from me.
Good. You talk about
Just come up with those.
I was just looking at his arms thinking he's ripped too. Yeah.
talk about the vibes being high and 4-0 start, but how much does Mitch's mentality to keep y'all focused each and every day help out this run?
Not at all. It's all me.
I mean, Mitch is very purposeful, you know, in the way he speaks. And
why don't they ever ask about me? They never ask about how Clan has inspired the team. I don't know what's up with that. It's very offensive that they never ask about how Clan has inspired the team. Maybe I can hit up Carolina and ask her to ask that question next. Like, ask them how his Clan really impacted winning. And he was like, oh, you mean Clan the Spurs fan? Yeah, Clan the Spurs fan. How's he? Oh, we watch all his stuff every game. Every day after the game. And even Keldon, he was like, and Keldon, he really pisses off Keldon. He really pisses him off. So Keldon really wanted to show Clan the Spurs fan that he had it this year, you know? He's like, really? Like, he didn't want to prove it to himself or prove it to his family or prove it to those close to him or his teammates? No, just Clan. He just wanted to prove it to Clan. Because he's like, he loves everybody else, but why doesn't he love me? It's like a kid trying to get his dad's approval.
He manages to, you know, match our energy when it's going good and say the right things when it's going bad, you know, when they get on runs or whatever. So it's a great quality, and I think it's a hard one to teach. So I'm glad he has it, you know, being able to recognize the situation in the moment and say purposeful things.
I could see him getting on to them. But yeah, when they were up by 25, I mean, I know we just take that one clip and people are like, you don't want to just take one clip and base your whole opinion. I think that's okay with this situation. We got the testimonials. We got the team saying how good he is. We got coaches in the past saying how purposeful and how smart he is. We have him as a assistant coach to Popovich. He was assistant coach to Pop. Pop just doesn't put anybody on his coaching staff, right? Like, you have all these pieces. We have him winning with the Austin Spurs. Like, you have all these pieces, and then on top of it, you get that clip, and that was kind of the first time that we got to see or hear him as a coach, because obviously they weren't showing us anything last season. We knew that the team loved him off the court, but yeah, that was great, and it was very obvious how good he was at that. The fact they were up by 25 and he was talking like that was insane. Good stuff, man.
Moment, by the way, 360 layup.
Never worked on that before. I guess that's the first.
He got crazy great coordination. Actually, I'll show you guys that because I don't think that'd be copyrighted. Because if we go to the Spurs page, I think they have something. I don't think got it. Looks like we got a little bit of a lag tonight. All right, where is it? Hold on, I want to show you guys it. I want to get the right one. I don't think this would be copyrighted. Look at this. So sick. What is that? Like, what is that, bro? Look at that. Look at Scotty Barnes almost getting to it. Like, Wemby did that, and it would have been blocked if he would have just went straight up. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's demoralizing. That's insane.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit?
En français, il a dit.
En français?
It only took 2.5 years.
Being counting.
Puis on commence à découvrir Dylan Harper semaine après.
All right, so once again, our French people, if you guys want to help us out and go ahead and post what the responses are underneath this video when it's uploaded, that would be absolutely great and appreciated. Because it seems like the French reporters really asked the good questions. They have some really good questions. So if you guys want to do that, that would mean the world to, I'm sure, the rest of us Spurs fans, us heathens that don't know French, us Americans that don't know anything. But yeah, really want to just say that I really love this team, obviously. Vic has been great. The team has been great. They're special. They're going to go to the playoffs, convincingly so. I'm still sticking to 4th in the West, but they are trying to make a case for better than that. But I'm going to stick with my 4th. Right now, we're number 1 in the West. Hold on, let me make sure we're number 1 in the West. Yeah, number 1 in the West. They don't show division. God, is a oh God. The Warriors only lost 1. Warriors are a little scary. They're a little scary. Who's been really bad? Pelicans 0-3, Mavericks 1-3. So we gave them 2 losses. Okay, but yeah. So right now Spurs are looking good. Number 1 in the West. Just got to keep it up. Obviously it's super early. Anything can happen. You can lose this in an instant. But Thunder, we looking at you. We're coming for you. Coming for you. I disabled comments last vid. No, I didn't. I saw comments last vid. I didn't disable comments. Why would I do that? We area 51 back. We are area 51. I don't like how it feels weird to see the Spurs that high. It's been so long, man. It's been so long. I know what you mean. It's been so long. It does feel weird. It's usually not the case. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna make this thumbnail and go to sleep. I'm not doing all these thumbnails tonight, guys. I'm so sleepy. It's almost 1 a.m. I'm gonna do the thumbnail and talk to you guys for a little bit while I do it. Spurs fans with imposter syndrome. It's just weird because it's been a little while. But it's usually worse. Other teams, it's way worse. other teams had to wait way longer than how long the Spurs, us fans, have been waiting. It hasn't been that bad if you compare it to other teams and other fans and what they have to wait for. And people are very frustrated. I've seen some stuff that's just been factually incorrect. Like, I saw people saying, like, oh, the league just gave the Spurs draft picks, and like while everyone else is trying, the Spurs just was given everything. It's like, do you recognize the moves that the Spurs made? They literally put us, it takes luck, a lot of luck, but the Spurs literally put themselves in a phenomenal situation. It's very dangerous, you know, it's very dangerous giving us Victor Wembanyama because we know what we're doing. And I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, the NBA gave us Wemby. I would not be surprised. But a lot of the moves, like, have nothing to do with Wemby. And even yet and so, getting Wembanyama means nothing if he's with a bad franchise. Because the fact of the matter is this. Wembanyama will not stick around a franchise that don't know what they're doing. That's why he was nervous to go to the Rockets. But he's not going to stick around a team that don't know what they're doing. So even though, yeah, we were given Wemby or whatever, we got to keep Wemby. It's not guaranteed that we keep Wemby. But, I mean, I think it's a guarantee because we're the Spurs, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, Wemby could have easily gone to a team that he sees that they're not going in a certain direction and he leaves. Like, that's very possible for that to happen. Wemby wants to stay with one team, but he just stick around. Like, he wants to be the greatest ever. He wants to get as many rings as humanly possible. So he's not going to just, like, stick around just because. So keep that in mind. So the whole thing of, like, well, you guys got Wemby, you got lucky. You got to keep Wemby. And we've just done such a great job that, yeah, we're going to be able to keep him. And also, look at all the draft picks coming up. That's what makes us really dangerous. The NBA didn't do that for us. Brian Wright did that. Now, one thing I really found offensive, though, and this might be part of me being a person of color, but it's actually frustrated me, not to like no end where like I have to rant about it, but it has frustrated me that I've seen quite a few people say like Brian Wright doesn't have a mind of his own and everything is just secretly, it's very dumb people saying this, but everything is just secretly like Popovich's decision and he's just a face or whatever. And I think that's very offensive. What? Yeah, people are actually saying that. Like, I saw people say like Popovich makes all the decisions and Brian Wright hasn't done anything, which is just the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen that. It's more so old heads though that really don't know what they're talking about, but that's kind of bothered me. It was bad. It actually was like really going crazy when I was first giving him praise a few years ago, where people was really like running with that narrative. I was like, what are we even talking about? Personally think Pop is just a face. At this point, if you have to choose who's just a face, but yeah, just say yes, we are lucky. Yeah, and then give them little hearts. Yeah, I say that. I say we're lucky, but like, it takes both. It takes luck and knowing what you're doing. Spurs are extraordinarily lucky, but the crazy part about it is, even if they ain't got Wemby, they would have still been. I don't know if we would have been like what we about to become, like a juggernaut of the NBA. I don't know about all that, but I do know that the Spurs would have been a playoff team without Wemby. If you still got some top picks, but you just didn't get Wemby, I think that they would have managed. Because our front office is that good. They know how to build a team. But it takes some luck. Man, we are on the juggernaut trajectory. We're about to be the bully of the NBA. Like, it's about to be so gross what we're about to do to the NBA. It's about to be so nasty what we're about to do to the sport. It's not fair what we're about to do to them. Oh, finally. Oops. All right. It's tomorrow, Tuesday. Want to see us play actual competition. I think the Heat is going to be the first nice one. I don't even know what the Miami Heat record is right now. I just know that we struggle with them. They're 5th in the East. So what are they? They lost one? They're 2-1. Yeah, I think the East is going to be the first one. Clay and the man. He said he'd stay on briefly, and it's been about 2 hours. Love you, brother. Oh, I'm getting off right now. Just finished the thumbnail. It's getting uploaded. I'll have the segment from earlier stream for tomorrow. I just realized last videos didn't do that well. I don't know why. Oh, wait. Last game was a 1 p.m., right? Yeah, nobody cared. Nobody paid attention. All right, guys. I'll get with you later. Got to go to sleep. Everyone have a good night. Where you at? What do you mean? I'm going to sleep. Good night. Bye. I'll see you on Thursday. See you on Thursday. I saw people concerned because Wemmy lips was pale in the interview. Just need some chapstick.